Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to on today's episode. Oh boy, might have had a match of the year on AEW Collision. Kenny Omega, MJF having an absolute Matt classic, as they say. So we're going to talk about that during our AEW Collision review. Maybe for this episode, for the YouTube side of things, I will actually post one of those little time code deals every once in a while, Larson. We get people saying, "Whoa, where's your time codes?" We only did like a very short period of time. We did time codes. Yeah, but like I don't really do them. But for this, if you want, because it's on the thumbnail, it's in the title. If you guys want to skip directly to MJF versus Kenny Omega, our thoughts.
Well, you know what we can do.
Yeah, what?
We could do this.
What?
We usually ahead of the show, we take one of the shows and talk about the highlights. If we don't have news, like the case today, we're pushing the news till later.
Yeah, right.
Do a separate thing later today. We'll say, all right, we're doing Smackdown first.
Yeah.
Talk about all of Smackdown, then we do Collision. What if we do this for the head of the show at least?
Ooh.
We just discussed. We got the thumbnail here. We got this Kenny MJF match. We can talk about that. Yeah. We can also talk about the fantastic. It's a highlight of Smackdown by far. Contract signing between LA Knight and Roman Reigns.
That's the only win LA Knight's gonna get, man.
I know that's and yeah, as mentioned here in the title, the odds, however slim, that LA Knight could pull out a dub at Crown Royal. What do you want to start with? Do you want to talk Kenny and MJF? Do you want to talk?
You know what? Here's the thing. Well, number one, let's just really quick here. This is going to be very quick, less than 60 seconds. As many of you know, a while ago, we purchased and won via a wrestling match that we didn't actually participate in beyond a distraction, what they call Action Coast Wrestling, December 2nd. The stars of Action Coast Wrestling back in action, this time in Pacheco, California.
Yes.
December 2nd. I think we're going to be there. Are we going to be there?
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
All right.
Wait.
We might.
I don't know if
there.
I'll be able to.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe Steve will just go. Maybe Steve and Lacey will go. Does she have your proxy, my wife?
Oh, yeah. I can't confirm. I will not be able to make it.
All right. Well, maybe me and the wife will go. Can you offer up Lacey the proxy, perhaps?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, sure.
She'll be the proxy Larson. So if you want to meet Steve and Lacey of Going In Raw fame or of Wrestle Juice, because she's every once in a while on there.
Yeah, Ask Steve and Lacey fame.
Right, December 2nd, I think I'll be there. But if
you guys used to have a ghost podcast. That's there you go. You could say of
lasted like
that's not scary.
That's not scary podcast. Yeah, you know the name and I forgot it. It lasted like 4 episodes. But yeah. So but even if we're not going to be there. Terrific action because it is Action Coast Wrestling. December 2nd, Pacheco. We also have a YouTube channel. Brand new episode of Surge just went up today. Christina Von Eerie versus Brooke Havoc. A couple of great names. Really great match. Check it out there.
Yes.
So let's talk about Kenny Omega versus MJF. My goodness, what a match. I don't know if this is going to end up being match of the year or not. I'm still partial to Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Tokyo Dome because the table
be partial to Danielson, Ricky Starks in that strap match.
Dude, we're gonna have some hard decisions. We got some
serious tough decision when it comes to the match of the year. This is going to make the short list for sure. You don't usually get a quality match like this on free cable television. I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
this is a legitimate pay-per-view main event quality bout. Both of them beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I know Kenny's a fantastic seller. He makes you believe he's really hurting.
Mm-hmm.
More and more often when he has matches of any length, I actually really think he's actually in a great deal of pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
You know, that even goes as far back, and I know he was actually like really hurt when he was carrying all the titles. There's that one time at Impact where he showed up for like a brawl at the end of the show, and it looked like he could barely walk to the ring. He had a hernia, bad knee, bad shoulder. He's dealing with like 5 different injuries at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and he's wrestled a really physical style throughout his career. He's taken some insane bumps throughout his career.
Big time, yeah.
And he's not letting up. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. You go to that Ospreay match at was it Forbidden Door, where he just got about dropped on his head. Oh, yeah. You know, he'll still do the crazy spots and the crazy bumps.
Forgot about that Tiger Driver. Oh my God.
And so it's gotten to the point with me personally with Kenny that I watch him wrestle. I'm like, oh, I just know he hurts so much doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it. Here's the thing. he's still one of the best in-ring storytellers we got. Kenny Omega is.
Yeah.
You put him in there with MJF, who's also a fantastic in-ring storyteller, and you get magic, and that's what exactly totally what this match was. It was a really great magical match, and I hope, for the sake of AEW, the gamble, if you will, of having this match on free TV rather than trying to do it at like Wrestle Dream, which I know was about a month prior. But you could have done it. There's a way you could have done it. Have it on pay-per-view. Pays off, and the rating for Collision is more than like 450,000.
So the hope is that Collision will do a good number this week.
Yes.
And obviously there was a lot of discourse, as there always is, genuine and disingenuous in my opinion. But I understand the idea that people were, why would you do this for free TV when you can put it on pay-per-view? It's still a three-day build or whatever. People complain about it.
Yeah.
There's a couple reasons. Number one, why I can think of why you do it for Collision, because the ratings are crap, number one. And you want to establish that as a top show, as on par, as greater than or equal to Dynamite. Yeah. That's what you want to do with Collision. Number two, I know now they're basically at monthly pay-per-views, right? I get that. Yes. Kenny Omega, you'll never make me believe that he's going to beat MJF right now for the title. My personal belief, and I feel the same way about LA Knight and Roman Reigns, by the way. But my personal belief is, if you're not doing your damnedest to make me think, like Samoa Joe has something going on with MJF. I think it's, I don't think it's going to happen, but he could be the world champion. Like I could see him somehow taking that title off MJF. If MJF is doing this thing where now he's wrestling a lot and he's doing the Adam Cole stuff and he's taking more risks in the ring, which is his story. He's Adam Cole. The Adam Cole influences is really strong in MJF. That's going to end up biting him in the ass in the long run.
Yep. At some point.
But Kenny Omega's not in the title picture. He's not going to be in the title picture. And this to me is a perfect Collision match and not a pay-per-view match. The quality was 1,000% pay-per-view quality match. But let's be honest, the one thing that AEW really has going for them is week to week, they've got the best professional wrestling on cable television in America. And so you do the match on Collision, sure, because who wouldn't want to watch MJF versus Kenny Omega? They're like, if you're whining about why am I not having to pay $50 for this, I don't know what your problem is. That's just weird. That's weird to me.
Yeah, I know.
That's weird to me. They gave us a 30-minute match of the year, like maybe top 5 match between WWE and AEW, anyways, and maybe New Japan even. A top 5 match of the year. This was awesome. It was phenomenal. I don't think it needed to be on pay-per-view. I don't even think it should have been on pay-per-view because pay-per-view matches should be, could MJF lose the title at this pay-per-view? I don't think he was going to lose the title to Kenny Omega. I never thought that was a thing.
I think to justify it more so, I mean, the star power, the competitors involved are enough to justify it being a pay-per-view match. But there's a story building to it. Like they took a month to where Kenny's like, oh shit, MJF's getting close to breaking my record, and I value that. I want that. I want my reign to stand in the record books as the longest of all time. I'm gonna do what I can to prevent that. And you build to that story. And MJF's like, I don't give a shit about your record, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's not important to me. What you holding on to your record is not important to me. And you go through the process of MJF agreeing to the match. There's a story there, and you build to it. Then it would be a pay-per-view match. Absolutely.
If they had wanted to take 2 months for Kenny Omega to like announce, hey, I want to come after that world title again. I'm a world title guy now. Then yeah, but like at no point, and yeah, they could have done that, sure. But instead they're choosing to go Jay White at a pay-per-view, which I think is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
I think Jay Whitey's the future of like pro wrestling, regardless of where he's going to be. And I kind of like that as a pay-per-view match more because it's like, okay, well, he stole the title. Is he going to be able to keep the title? Like, is it possible? They feature the Bang Bang Gang a lot these days, by the way. I don't think it's going to happen, but I feel like Jay White, as a hungry, up-and-coming competitor for the main event title, makes more sense in a pay-per-view match than Kenny Omega at this point. That's my own personal opinion. I'll probably get killed in the comments for it, but whatever. We got a free TV match, MJF versus Kenny Omega. They're trying to beef up their Collision. I'm not going to argue with that. They got enough creative issues, which we're going to talk later on in the news brief later on today. Another thing I want to bring up about this match, has MJF really because we've heard this from multiple different places that MJF has a strong hand in his own creative.
Mm-hmm.
If he is sort of steering the boat or whatever for his title run, maybe in collaboration with Tony Khan or anybody else in creative, talk about having cracked the code for a babyface champion.
I know.
Usually, like 9 times out of 10, dude, and you and I talk about this a lot, heel champions are where it's at.
Oh,
like, I mean, if you look at right now, you know, Gunther, terrific champion. Roman Reigns, awesome champion. Seth Rollins, what's the knock on him? Starting to get boring. Why? Because he's a babyface. Yeah, right. Yeah. When Rollins was sort of on he was a bad guy, but he was also kind of becoming a good guy. That's sort of like that sweet spot, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But right now, Rhea Ripley is in that perfect spot. That's where you want everybody to be. But no,
that's kind of where MJF is at too.
He is, because he'll cheat, but he'll cheat against bad guys rather.
Yeah. Well, clean win. Kenny, he poked him in the eyes twice.
Clean, he did, yeah, but it was it wasn't like okay, I need to win this now, so I'm going to punch him in the gut.
It was cheating in the most charming way possible. So
right, yeah, exactly. There was, of course, a distraction with the Callous group. Kenny was about to hit him with a one-winged angel.
Yeah.
MJF is known for kicking out of a lot of stuff. So I don't know if that, would have done the job.
Hey, buddy, no one kicks out the one-winged angel.
He could have been the first.
Except Kota Ibushi.
We've been waiting for the first person to do that for a long time now. But this babyface run, this MJF run, well, maybe we could do a tier rank on this over the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. But top AEW champion of all time. Like, not just now of the length of reign, but interesting title run, huh?
I think in terms of character growth and development, yeah, by far, this has been the most interesting title run. Because started out as about as heel as you can get MJF. And probably by the time this reign concludes early next year, whenever Adam Cole comes back, he's going to be a full-fledged babyface, and the top babyface in the entire company.
Yeah.
If he's probably there already.
Yeah.
But he's found a way to retain the essence of who MJF is and was, and just pivot to being a good guy. He's not like a whole new person. There's been an evolution.
Yeah. And
we've seen that evolution. And that doesn't happen a whole lot in pro wrestling historically. Usually someone just turns babyface and bang, and within the span of 2 weeks, they've gone from being a dastardly bastard to being, kind of smiling generic babyface. We don't usually see the weeks and weeks and weeks of change and growth and evolution in the characters. And same with people who turned heels. Seemingly one day decide, I'm tired of this shit and be a bad guy now, and they beat the hell out of somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
This character has built trust. Isn't that nuts? Like, when he first was, we've seen this progress mainly through the Adam Cole stuff, like almost exclusively the Adam Cole stuff. Yeah. But then there's been other, like, sort of ancillary stuff. But, we were always like, oh, he's going to turn, he's going to turn, he's going to turn, he's going to turn, he's going to turn. And slowly he's built up our trust. So now when there is some sort of turn, I think that whatever turn he's going to have back to bad guy, whenever that happens, it's going to be because of the devastation emotionally he feels. And it's not just going to be like, oh, because I'm a bad guy, I'm just reverting to my old ways. That wouldn't make sense. This guy who's, by the way, what is he, 26 years old, something like that?
He's pretty young, yeah.
At 26 or mid-20s or whatever, has managed, like, the savviness of the performer MJF has managed to craft this character so expertly that I am so impressed, and he's probably going to land. I was thinking about watching this, and I was like, dude, he's got to be Wrestler of the Year with this performance, right?
He's up there. It's him. It's him. It's Danielson. Yeah. In my mind, those are the two most obvious names.
Yeah,
two most obvious names: Danielson and him.
I mean, like, you can. That's the problem. You can make a case for a lot of people this year.
Yeah,
you can make the case for a lot of people. I mean, some of the performances. You look at Rhea Ripley, like some of the performances this year across the board. But MJF has, like, in terms of charting that character's growth and how it all makes sense, especially contrasted with a lot of the other problems that AEW has, it sounds out even more, because it's like, man, the effort and attention to detail with this character has been absolutely top notch. It really has been. And on top of that, the dude's always putting in, and you can't put it on his opponents for carrying matches. You can't do that. This dude knows the psychology of professional wrestling. He's got a connection with the crowd, kind of unlike anybody else. It reminds me of Jay White in New Japan, that connection he had with the crowd. MJF has that bond with the crowd right now. And it's exciting to watch. He's vital. And he's really just having an absolutely career year, in a year that he kind of needs to have a career year, because he said, I guess, in I watched this post-match promo with him.
He talked about the bidding war of 2024 briefly, and
he said he still don't know what he's going to do, but having matches with Kenny Omega like that, and on top of that, a clean win. We talked about the distraction finish, but there was a lot of match after that distraction. Kenny had plenty of opportunity. And basically a clean win from MJF. Smart move by Kenny Omega, because it's your company. You're the EVP. You re-signed with the company. Get this. Use your immense, credibility. MJF beats you, and dude, that's a huge thing for MJF to have now. It
is, and I mentioned earlier about watching Kenny wrestle and seeing or feeling like I could feel his pain through the television, and I think he's talked about this, that he's on the downside of his career. And I think he acknowledges that probably his prime is behind him. That's not to say he's still not a fantastic wrestler. He is. He's still one of the best wrestlers in the world.
He is, yeah.
Because he's such a tremendous storyteller. And even if he can't do the things physically, or at least to the same degree he used to do, his wrestling mind is as sharp, if not sharper, than it's ever been.
Absolutely, yeah.
So he can still put on phenomenal matches, even if he can't do the crazy athletic stuff he used to be able to do.
Yeah.
That being said, I think he just realizes my best days are probably behind me, athletically at least. And it probably behooves him for the future of the company, especially, and this is a huge if, we don't know if this has happened, if MJF is already going to stick around for a couple more years, to put this guy over, to start building for the future, because there's going to come a day where Jericho can't wrestle, Mox can't wrestle. Well, it seems like Mox will be able to wrestle forever. Kenny won't be able to wrestle. Young Bucks, who have also wrestled an incredibly physical style their entire careers, won't be able to do the same things they used to be able to do.
Yeah.
Danielson, his contract apparently expires in September of next year.
Yeah.
He'll be at best on a part-time basis.
Yeah.
And he's got a broken orbital bone now. He's out for the rest of the year. You got to start setting up the future of AEW.
Yeah.
Really setting it up. I know they spent the whole first year of the company's existence trying to set up talent outside of the elite. And they did, to mixed results. I think there were some success stories and some kind of blunders.
Yeah.
But now is the point where I feel like you really need to start setting up the next generation of AEW main eventers.
Yeah.
And they really have to invest in doing so. You need to have Will Hobbs come out of this Jericho feud, beating up Jericho even worse than he did the first time. I don't think it's going to happen, but that's what they need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to set up the future of the company, and you need to start doing it now.
Otherwise,
Kenny seemingly acknowledges that and realizes that. It's like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah. Now the question is, you're right. The question is Jericho going to realize that? He'll put you over to a degree.
I know.
To a degree.
He'll put you over just to suck all the momentum away from you.
I guess we've come around to that. Hey, before we get going with are we going to do Collision first? We're going to do Smackdown first? What are we going to do first?
Whatever. Let's just roll with where momentum takes us. How about that?
All right. Well, our momentum right now is going to take us to paying some bills. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right.
This episode of Going in Raw is sponsored by BetterHelp Steve.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this plenty before, but I'll say it again because I think it bears repeating. One of the things that just infuriates me the most about dealing with anxiety is when I'm in a situation and I'm sitting there. I'm like, gosh, there's something I really want to do. There's this thing I really should do. Or there's this thing I need to do. But this brain inside my head, it just starts going. And my anxiety just really starts kicking up and just makes it extremely difficult to get those things done. It's a massive if I get them done at all.
Yeah, man. No, I feel you. And I know you know this, but therapy can help you figure out what's holding you back so you work for yourself rather than against yourself.
I do know this because I've been there before. Back in my mid-20s, my anxiety got really, really bad. It got so bad that I made the realization that it was getting in the way of me living a productive, happy life, and I needed to go to therapy. And it took me a few tries to find someone I felt comfortable talking to, but once I did, I was able to learn the tools I needed to better deal with my anxiety and get me back on track to being a happier, more productive Larson.
And if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited for your schedule. All you got to do to get started is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched up with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
So make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/raw today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
All right. Let's just go ahead and do Collision. Might as well just do Collision. I mean,
Sure.
We've already talked about the major thing on the show, so because like that main event was like 30 minutes, like from from entrances, it was more than 30 minutes.
It was like 35 minutes, yeah.
Guy we haven't seen on Collision or Dynamite in a while, AR Fox, had a match. Mitch,
a really good one.
Jay White. It was all like Bang Bang Gang to kick everything off here because we had a Jay White match. It was interrupted by after that we had an Acclaim promo, but then we had a Guns match. So Bang Bang Gang got to. Yeah, that's true. They had to.
Yeah, basically most of the first half hour of the show was Bang Bang Gang. Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna complain about that.
No, I won't either. The Jay White AR Fox match was really, really good.
Yeah, it was a really good match. Yeah, AR Fox is terrific, man.
He is. He's so good. He's so good. Jay White, really good too. And so Jay White gets the win here. AR Fox hits the seated Spanish fly in the top rope, gets a 2 with that. He's looking for the 450. Jay gets out of the way, hits him with a half and half suplex, then a Blade Runner to get the win. So the rest of the Bang Bang Gang get in the ring to celebrate with Jay White. And then MJF sneaks out to ringside and gets his hands on Triple B. And Jay White kind of realized that. He grabs the belt too and kind of yanks it away, and MJF has to escape through the crowd. As Bullet Club Gold kind of like, oh, we realize MJF's here, so they start going after him.
Yeah. Yoink. Nope.
And I'm happy they did something because we know MJF is at the show. He has a match.
Yeah.
He should make some attempt to get this belt back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Is that match on Dynamite going down? Is that the thing?
Yeah, the 8-man match, yeah.
Yeah, to get the title back in theory.
Yeah, if he wins, he gets the title back.
Because he can't go out there at full gear, like with him not carrying the belt. He should make his. You know what he should do? He should steal Cardblade's belt. That's what he should do. So it's like the YOLO County Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
yes,
that's good. Before we
trade, we'll do a trade.
Yeah, we'll do a trade exactly. Before we do this Acclaim promo here, Fazzy Wazzy has now been a YouTube channel member for 45 months. I don't know. That's like, what is that? 16 years, something like that. That's before
something like that. I'm not good at
channel.
math, but that sounds about right. Considering we've only been doing this show for a handful of weeks, that's pretty impressive.
You think he's like a time traveler? Like
it must be some way of manipulating time space. Yes,
seems like it. He says himself is not sure how I got to 45 months for this new podcast. Space and time, you just bend it.
Time moves different in the Going in Raw universe, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, so there's that
pocket where time moves slower.
Here's the thing about Fazzy Wazzy. Now that he's a channel member, he gets the Friendo Club set up. And Larson, there's the Tribal Chief setup. That's for one person, Roman Reigns.
Yes.
It's very specifically not for anybody else, and very specifically, especially, not for Seth Rollins.
Correct.
But the Friendo Club setup is for everybody. Right now at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Or clicking join on the YouTube, $5 a month, both places, or either place, or whatever. You get the same thing. You get bonus episodes, you get question threads, and you get access to our huge monthly predictions. We've got one coming up. It's a bonus prediction challenge at the Saudi Arabia show at the Crown Royal.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. You get bonus points if you win that going into Week of Champions 3, where John Hosey is going to be putting his Big Blue Predictions Championship on the line. At was it Full Gear and Survivor Series, a big
correct
dual thing. The Friendo Club setup, it's for everybody. If Seth Rollins wants the Friendo Club setup, he can have it. Can't have the Tribal Chief setup. He can have the Friendo Club setup, and you can have the Friendo Club setup too.
You definitely can. We got 452 people watching right now. So people who watch the show for a little bit know we have a mission. We have a goal we want to hit, and that's 198,891 subscribers on our YouTube before the end of the year.
Goal oriented.
We're not there yet. We want to get there. We need your help to get there.
We're asking for your help now.
We're asking for your help. Please help us.
Please help us.
We're up to 461 people. So if you're one of the 461 watching right now who have not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Hit the subscribe button, notify bell while you're at it, while you're hitting buttons. This goes for everybody, whether you subscribed or not. We got 461 people watching here. Please, if you could, hit that thumbs up button. It takes 2 seconds. Even if you use your one like for the day, please go and like the other video and come like this one. Please.
Wait a second. Hold on a second. So 461 people watching. We only have 77 likes.
Now.
465 people. We only have 77 likes. What are you
82
doing?
now.
Let me ask them. What are you doing with your life? You're watching this. You're not hitting the like button. Is there something wrong with you? There has to be. There's no other explanation. Because there's look, 77 of you totally normal. 390 or something, not normal at all. Because you haven't hit the like button. What's there not to like? A couple of old dudes talking wrestling? Come on now.
I mean, Steve, he was out going to a Halloween party, accidentally bladed himself. Come on, he's living the business right now.
I opened the car door to try to avoid a tree that was just there, and I opened the car door so hard on my head that I gigged. I got color, is what they say.
You're gonna have scars in there like Dusty Rhodes now.
I'll be like the butcher, Abdullah the Butcher.
Yeah, all the forehead scars. Yeah,
right, exactly.
So please,
Curious
smash that like button, please.
Curious Corduroy is all right. Classic good cop, bad cop. Yeah, man. The wild card cop comes in with the busted forehead here.
I know, bleeding down the face. Yeah,
I was under the announce
Start
table
hitting it, Steve. Do a CM Punk there. Start.
No, I'm gonna bust it back up. I want to do that here on the show.
Yeah, it might be a terms of service.
Terms of service violation, exactly.
Question though, do you know if fake blood is a terms of service violation?
Yeah,
that might come into play. Yes, for tomorrow.
Probably. Oh, tomorrow? No, yeah.
Tomorrow's
fake
Halloween.
blood?
You know.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I got to get a costume for the show because I think we're dressing up tomorrow. Aren't we?
That's why I'm asking because I have an idea, but I mean, last year I did CM Punk and I had a little bit of fake blood on me.
You're gonna be Moxley tomorrow?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that, but I just need to know if I can employ some fake blood.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's Halloween. They have allocations for Halloween. Anyways, let's talk about this Acclaim promo.
Sure.
This is pretty funny because Billy Gunn says, we've been champs for 62 days, and Bowen says, and next week live on Collision, it's a very special day for us because it marks 69 days as AEW Trios champs. Nice. And then Max Caster, he's just always getting himself in trouble these days, says, I don't mean to cut you off. I got great news. MJF just texted me. He said he's going to be at National 69 Day front row, and and Bones takes a phone and says, damn it, Max. This is a catfish. This person only has 200 followers. And Caster says, what? I sent them pictures of me. And Billy grabs the phone and says, stop sending pictures of yourself. And then he sends them to the back. And then Bowen says, moral of the story is next week, 69 days as champs. And we're going to celebrate with you in Wichita because everyone loves the Acclaim. Their chemistry is so good.
It really is.
And this one, Billy Gunn just saying, I told you, Max, stop sending pictures of yourself.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
That's good stuff, yeah.
It was pretty great. After that, we have Dalton Castle, the boys.
Why didn't he join the boys out there?
I know. He left. He was like literally holding his back. I know he's got a bad back, but he's like, I'm not going to stand there for this match because my back hurts. I don't know.
You got the whole Bang Bang gang out there. You got to help out your dudes.
No, he didn't, though. They lost, and quickly. 3-10 to Yuma. Bang Bang Gang. The Guns get the win here.
Yeah, I was kind of happy. Like, I love Jay White promos, but lately his promos are just kind of on the long side.
Yeah.
So no promo from the Bang Bang Gang this time.
Nope, no Switchblade promo this weekend, no.
A really nice MJF Kenny Omega video package followed that.
I'll say this. I know there was some criticism levied against this match because it was booked kind of on short notice.
Yeah.
At least on Collision, they did everything they could to give this match weight and importance.
You know, people complain, oh, Collision get no ratings, nothing happens. It's taking the Rampage route. You put cool shit on Collision on a regular basis, and then
complain.
Yeah. And then they'll still complain.
Can't make everybody happy, you know.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Oh, let's just tank it so you guys you complain about that too.
We'll tank it so everybody's got to pay $50 a month to watch any sort of halfway decent match.
Right, exactly. After that, we had a Ryan Nemeth interview. He's the Hollywood guy, and he says, as you know, things have been going great for me the last week. Movie just came out in Hollywood. Big movie coming out next month, as you probably know. He didn't have names for any of these movies, man.
No.
He said, I got a couple commercials. I might be the voice of a grocery store chain. I wonder if it's Vaughn's. National comedy tour. Grab your tickets. He says, but I want to take the success I've had in Hollywood and translate that to AEW. In order to do that, I need to secure the upper echelon management, which is why I brought you here. And the camera pans out, and he's in front of CJ Perry's office. He knocks on the door. The door opens. It's fucking Miro. He's like, come on in, buddy. And starts beating the shit out of him.
It was great.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Miro's awesome.
It was fantastic. So after that, we had Abaddon versus Hikaru Shida in a Halloween-themed, I guess, no holds barred match.
Like a trick or street fight.
That, yeah.
Is that what they used to call it? Yeah.
Yeah, trick or street fight. Yeah, WWE. So Abaddon comes out dressed like Spawn.
You know,
comic book fame.
I hate myself that I didn't like put two and two together on this. Like I sort of half pay attention sometimes during the entrances because I'm like, that's the entrance. I was trying to edit something. And Abaddon looks so, like, when I went back, when somebody was like, oh, they were Spawn, I went back, I looked, I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. They did such a good job with that outfit.
Yeah, they did. And then Shida dressed as Ada Wong from Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. Never been a big Resident Evil fan.
Yeah, I remember from our days in the video game industry.
Our game preview days, yeah.
Yeah, game preview days and stuff like that. Our games in the days industry, I almost said. I remember Ada Wong. We probably talked about her in some 10 for
probably. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, really fun match here. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, it was fun stuff. Yeah.
Shida gets the win. The crowd really wants someone to get hit with a pumpkin or have a pumpkin put over their head.
Yeah, well, me too. I mean, that is really cool when that happens.
That's kind of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Abaddon's looking for a finish. Shida escapes that. They trade some roll-ups. Shida gets her kendo stick. Abaddon picks up a pumpkin. The crowd gets to their feet. Like, yes, pumpkin. So Abaddon takes a swing with the pumpkin, but Shida instead blasts her with the kendo. Hits a running knee, gets a 2 there. Then she gets a larger pumpkin, puts it over Abaddon's head, hits a katana to get the win. And then Toni Storm's music hits. She comes to ringside, poses on the announce table, and takes, I believe, an orange from the announced team and eats it without peeling it first.
So, like, and it was incredibly clever. Every shot of her was in black and white. It would cut back to Shida. It was in color again.
Yeah.
And she's so over the top with all of her movements and her coming down and dancing and getting on the announce table. It was awesome. It was a very delightful moment for.
It really was. Then we got a couple of video packages. Next one for Ricky Starks and Dax Harwood. They had a singles match later on in the show, and then we got a Keith Lee Shane Taylor one where they're dropping promos back and forth, talking about their history together in Ring of Honor, and kind of culminates with Shane Taylor more or less saying, "Keith, I'm going to show that you got limits."
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to do that match. I'm excited for that match.
Bigger question is if they're going to do that match.
I guess that is the if.
After that, I do appreciate Keith Lee just wearing an AEW logo shirt.
Yeah.
In this, it's a very dad thing to do. I just like AEW. After that, we had Samoa Joe versus Rhett Titus. Been a while. I don't know. Maybe Rhett Titus is a regular on Ring of Honor. I don't know. He was a former TV champion.
Yeah, that's who Minoru Suzuki beat for the belt.
But then that week he was like security that one week.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. Anyways, not security this week, but took a big L.
He definitely secured that L, didn't he?
You should wear an AEW logo shirt because that was such a dad.
But he should take the W off because he didn't get any wins.
AEL.
Who do you work for? All Elite. All Elite what? All Elite.
Well, you can still say wrestling because there's like a W and
that's
R.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, so yeah, Samoa Joe taps this fool out. After that, I'm really curious.
The highlight of the show for you.
So we had a QTV interview now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So Renee is in there, and Harley says, we're going to introduce our newest theme called The Best Thing on TV, I guess next week, or on Dynamite. I don't know. Hopefully Rampage. Hopefully Rampage. And then, but QT is being like a little bit more subdued. He's like got a weird change of character. He says, when I won this Latin American title in AAA, I told the entire world I was going to defend it with honor and prestige, and literally that's what I've been doing. I've been traveling the world defending it against anybody and everybody. In fact, I think I set the record for the most title defenses in the history of this championship, and it's only been a couple months. But I got a scoop for you. I'm back in AEW, and I plan on defending this title against the best luchadors in AEW because I've been told this is the place where the best luchadors are. I'm going to be watching closely, and I'll be defending this title very soon. It was a promo that seemed outside of QTV, but I guess he's still part of QTV because he's the QT in the QTV.
Yeah. I mean, he's 2/3 of the QTV.
Right. I don't know. Like, it was a very earnest promo, and I was like,
And you have Johnny TV over there on the left side of the screen kind of hamming it up a little bit. You have Aaron Solo on the right side hamming it up too.
Did Johnny TV actually sign with AEW?
Yeah, I think he got the graphic and everything.
He got the graphic?
Yeah, I think he wrestled exclusively on Rampage.
I guess so. Because, like, I forgot that he was with the company.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that you do, I don't know what you do with him these days, but.
He's still a really good wrestler.
He's still a really good wrestler, yeah.
You should be doing more than wrestling on Rampage, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, this whole thing was weird. Because, I don't know, like, is QTV still with this crew? Or are they going to have to, like, redub
Seemingly.
it? HTV? Because of Haley? Harley? Haley?
Harley.
Is HTV a real thing? HGTV is a real thing.
Yeah, that's Home and Garden Television. That's
Home and Garden. Yeah.
Can't confirm that's a real thing. Also a real thing, Claudio's anger. We've got the promo next. He says, broken orbital bone from either Orange Punch or Rainmaker. Which one? We don't know. Honestly, which one? I don't care. I'm going to make both of you pay for what you've done to my friend. Okada, be it in the U.S. or Japan, I'm coming for you. I will find you, and I will make you pay. Orange, I ain't going to have to come looking for you. You and me in Louisville this Wednesday for your international championship. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm capable of. And just thinking about it, honestly, it frightens me a little bit. But you hurt one of us. You hurt one of the Blackpool Combat Club, and now I'm going to hurt you. See you Wednesday. Good luck.
Yeah, this was cool. This is really cool. The idea of Claudio versus Okada is cool, too.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
That's
I
going to
guess
be
if
awesome.
Danielson can't make Tokyo Dome, then maybe Claudio will have the match instead.
That would be sick. That would be awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. After that, we had Ricky Starks versus Dax Harwood. House of Black were in the crowd.
Yeah, lights come down, come up. I'm going to fast forward to the end.
Yeah,
like, why does, unless I'm forgetting something, why does LFI have beef with House of Black?
Oh, man. Shit. Okay. Pop quiz, huh?
It has to do with Andrade with House of Black stealing his mask, but seemingly Andrade not giving a shit about that anymore. So LFI is like, hey, remember this happened? We used to be friends with Andrade. We're gonna get back at House of Black for taking your mask. You know,
that would be like a very AEW motivation thing to do.
Yes.
Like pick one random thing that seemingly nobody cares about from the past and then use that. Wait a second. Why was Roosh was taken off TV because of Jack Perry? Because he beat the shit out of him too much.
Well, also, I think his wife had a kid shortly before he was off TV first.
Well, like motivation, like he's referenced that as motivation for having been off TV. Is Jack Perry part of House of Black? Maybe is that the deal? Or part?
He wasn't last night.
He wasn't last night. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody in chat concluded. Maybe something happened on Rampage.
Maybe that's such a important part of this connective tissue of AEW's Rampage that we don't watch it. Therefore, so much stuff
maybe we
goes
probably
over
should start like so much. But I watched that one week. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to turn over a new leaf now that we're
just an off week, Steve.
Now that we're 10 months deep into the year, and like nothing happened. It was like a Matt Hardy match or something.
Yeah, that could be a Matt Hardy match. Anyways, this match was fun enough. Ricky Starks gets the win.
Yeah, because it's a Dax solo match.
Yeah, Dax loses all his
that
singles
dude
matches.
is like the losingest. He's like down there with like Serpentico in terms of singles.
I know he's
matches.
like he's an 0-4 as a singles wrestler. So Dax blocks a tornado DDT, hits a brain buster. Starks kicks out of that. He charges Starks. Starks evades, so Dax runs into the post. Ricky, though, runs into a kick from Dax. Dax follows with a pile driver, covers. Big Bill pulls Dax off the cover, but the ref doesn't see it. So Cash goes over and confronts Big Bill, as does Dax. But then he gets back in the ring, and then Starks just hits him with a real quick pile driver to get the win. So lights go down. They come back up. Julia Hart standing on the stage. She raises her hand, lowers it, lights go down again. They come back up. Now House of Black are in the ring from the crowd. That's where they were before. So they're surrounding Starks and Bill with the ideas like, oh, we're coming after tag titles. No, they turn their attention to FTR before a brawl breaks out. LFI's music hits. They come to the ring. They step up to FTR and then turn around and start fighting with House of Black. Huge brawl breaks out. There's this great shot of Bill waving at Ricky Starks. Come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So they're running up the ramp. House of Black follows. Eventually, FTR and LFI stand tall in the ring.
I don't know why.
I mean, here's a little preview of News Brief later. We're going to talk about a report from Meltzer about why AEW creative is a mess.
Yeah.
And it seems like there's a lot of instances these days where someone, Tony Khan, will think in his head, hey, it'd be really cool if this happened. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with it? I don't know. But it seems like cool at the moment, so he just does it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
It was great to have LFI back because Roosh is awesome.
No,
At
I
least
think
Tico is awesome.
I think that's cool, but like, I don't know. It's not like they're we're I don't know. Maybe they're just thinking, oh, this is like turf warfare. We're gonna establish that we're the gang to beat. Like some West Side Story type shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe there'll be some motivation next week. We get a cool little video saying.
One could hope.
Yeah,
one could hope. So then we're backstage with an Andrade interview. Lexi asks him, LFI's back. You got a lot of other stuff going on. How you feeling about everything? He just says, I'm a businessman. He points to himself and says, this is my business, nobody else. Leaves. And Lexi says, I'm not sure what that means. It means Andrade's looking out for himself.
He's numero uno.
Yeah, he's looking out for himself.
He's Jacksonville's numero uno. Or wherever they were.
They were in Connecticut.
Connecticut, yeah. Connecticut.
Mohegan Sun Center, that's where it was.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
Now then we got a Chris Statlander interview with Willow and Sky Blue. So Chris requested this time. It says, I want to talk about what happened in that four-way match last night on Rampage. I guess that's when Abaddon won. Because you both had a great shot at the title match that happened tonight, and yet neither of you were in it. So whatever's going on between the two of you, you need to settle it now. And Willow goes, yeah, I would have really loved to have been the one to wrestle Sheeta tonight, and I think we both, Sky, stood a chance at winning. But more than anything, I feel this tension between us, and it keeps growing stronger. And ever since we both got misted by Julia, something's getting worse with you, so maybe we should address this. And Sky is off to the right side of the frame, and she's rolling her eyes at like everything everybody's saying. And she just says, anything I need to say to Julia is between her and I, and she walks out.
The crowd gasped at that, too. And I'm like, well, that's, I don't know. That doesn't sound too out of pocket. Like, she's got business with somebody. It's none of your business.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. Why? So Willow was misted. Why do we know why she was not affected the way Sky Blue was affected?
No, I don't. But I feel like we need to ascertain why some are affected by the mist and some aren't.
Is it like a metaphor for the COVID? Because, like, some people you'll be exposed and you won't get it, and some people you will.
I don't know.
Is Sky an anti-vax?
Oh my gosh.
And Willow's pro-vax? Oh God, I gotta stop with that. Gotta be careful with that, man. People get crazy over that shit. Anyways, Willow's like, I've developed this vaccine for the mist.
Yeah. I developed the mist vaccine. Yes.
I told you to take it, Sky. And Sky's like, listen, I did my own research, and I just rubbed a bunch of ivermectin on my eyes.
Oh, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. So now we got Claudio versus.
I got. What do they call it's a natural immunity, man.
So we got Claudio versus Tracy Williams. Hot sauce Tracy Williams. Claudio was taking out all his anger. Tracy Williams just beat the hell out of him. Huge uppercut, gets the win, then puts him in a label lock afterwards.
His intro screen. He was like looking at the camera doing, and then Claudio comes in and like European uppercuts him out of nowhere, and then the dude's lower third shows up.
Yeah, hot sauce.
And disappears immediately.
Oh, it was great.
People are saying Willow's positivity is like a vaccine against the mist.
That's why I was wondering if it was more of a metaphor for people, like, for example, Willow's outlook on life, whether it be positivity or whatnot, is makes her immune to the mist. Whereas Sky, something about her character makes her more susceptible to it. I don't know.
But she's like, well, her thing has been like always like start and stop pushes. Like she'll get a win, but then she'll take like 3 losses. She'll get a win, then she'll take like a bunch of losses against bigger names. So I don't know. Maybe it's like, how much does Tony Khan like you? That's how. That's your immunity against the mist.
It's like, all right, we need to tell a story with somebody. Have them feud with House of Black and get misted.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Are they going to turn heel or not? And that's kind of the extent of it. It feels like.
Could be. After that, so yeah, like you said, Claudio destroys this Tracy Williams fella. And then we get like a split screen of Omega and MJF warming up backstage. Samoa Joe steps up to MJF clapping. He says, "Oh, here we go, chimp. You're looking like you're ready to do what the world expects you to do tonight. But I come to question whether you've given my offer any more thought. Let's be honest, you're going to go out there and you don't have many friends right now. I could be your friend, Max. You just have to give me what I'm eventually going to get anyway, and that's a rematch for your championship. By the look on your face, I could tell you're upset. I would never, ever put an ultimatum on you. I tell you what, if you find yourself in a bad way tonight, you just got to scream my name and I'll be your friend. Good luck. Dangerous opponent. I'll keep my ears perked."
Oh, Joe's the best.
Like, stop trying to be my friend. You're scary.
Just the absolute best.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it, he's great. Then we got our main event. Kenny Omega versus MJF. I took a page of notes. I can't talk this morning. Case of the Mondays. A page of notes here. So obviously we don't have to go through them all. Just go watch this match. They beat the hell out of each other.
It was so good.
It was so good. That gut wrench powerbomb off the apron through the table was nasty. And then Kenny was powerbombing MJF on the barricade.
Ref was like, "Stop doing that." And Kenny was like, "Come on, let me do it more.
You remove the padding." And ref's like, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah, it's too much, Kenny. Come on. That's what he said. It's too much.
It's too much. I like that Kenny made some references to Kota Ibushi during this match. He did the moonsault that they used to do as Golden Lovers, and he's looking for a Kamigoye at one point. That was cool.
Yeah.
Of course, MJF employed one of Adam Cole's signature moves, Panama Sunrise, to help him get the win.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good stuff here. A lot of great stuff.
Definitely check it out. Match of the Year candidate. Really awesome
Definitely. So down towards the end, Kenny hits a one-winged angel. Hits the V-trigger, looking for a one-winged angel. Don Callis runs down the ramp, screwdriver in hand. Mm-hmm. So Kenny, rather than hitting the one-winged angel, puts MJF down and goes over to by the ropes and talks shit to Don. Well, then MJF rolls him up, gets a 2. Kenny rolls up MJF, gets a 2, and then Kenny hits the V-trigger, gets a 2 again. Then Don comes closer to ringside, actually walks up the ring steps. Ref throws him out of the ringside area. So Kenny's looking for a one-winged angel. MJF reverses that into a victory roll. They trade some more roll-ups. MJF sends Kenny through the ropes, hits a heat seeker, gets a 2 there. MJF's looking for a Panama Sunrise. Kenny reverses that into a roll-up. MJF kicks out of that. Hits like a pop-up super kick on Kenny. Panama Sunrise, heat seeker to get the win. Then we look backstage. Samoa Joe, Wardlow, Hobbs, and Bullet Club Gold are all watching the aftermath of the match backstage on their own screens.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go back to the ring. MJF shakes Kenny's hand. Kenny gives him a hug. And they both had really nice promos after the match, too, when the show went off the air. So
yeah. We sort of recapped those to kick things off. But yeah, MJF had told this really great story about when he was 19, Kenny Omega made time for him, et cetera, et cetera. It was really good stuff. It's, I think, on AEW's YouTube channel right now, so you can check that out. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. And we can talk SmackDown. Really, the highlight of this show was the contract signing that opened it.
Yeah, specifically, it was when LA Knight's music hit during Roman Reigns' entrance, and he just walked
past Roman. You know, they took the oblivious arrogance of heel LA Knight and actually channeled it in a way that was like really interesting and disrespectful to Roman in a way we haven't seen in a very long time.
This was kind of what we wanted to see with LA Knight. Yes. You know, we've talked a lot over the last couple of months as LA Knight has gotten his push about, they're humanizing him a little bit, giving him the backstory of him being a grinder in the industry, waiting 20 years for this moment and finally getting, all the hard work paid off. Mm-hmm. When in reality, we just wanted oblivious meme LA Knight to be his character. And you're absolutely right. The guy he's Teflon against people. And that's what he was during this contract signing. Whatever Roman Reigns would throw at him. He takes the head of the table spot at the, all the little things. This really was the biggest win of LA Knight's career, is that contract signing. Absolutely. Because he's not going to get it at Crown Royal. And but interrupting the entrance and doing that's not an insult, it's just a fact of life, all that stuff. I thought it was really, really good. It was the LA Knight that we came to love, and it made him look great. And it really in advance of this big L he's about to take. More than anything though, my takeaway from this SmackDown was I am going to miss, and I know a lot of people I hear, again, we talk about this, people just whine to whine. I understand if people are getting tired of Roman Reigns' title reign. Dude, whenever he's there, it is the most entertaining thing. That stuff with Jimmy Uso being able to come into his own as this personality, this version of Jimmy Uso is hilarious. Oh, I need you to go take care of this guy. I'm on the injured reserve list, dog. I can't do anything. You're what? I'm off the injured reserve list. I could do anything.
I could do something. I could
do something. That's what he says.
The delivery on that and the timing was perfect.
Oh, they are so good.
Perfect.
And I think we're like the fall of Roman Reigns, I think is going to necessitate, like, we're not going to get these segments anymore. Like, I don't know, like, what exactly it's going to be, but I feel like he's going to be a man alone by the time all is said and done.
Yeah.
And treasure these moments.
Exactly.
Because these backstage segments have always been great, and they're always going to be great because they've injected, like, Jimmy's 2023 has, like, the latter half of 2023, the last couple months, when he's really been able to come alive as a character, has been a really wonderful thing, because before that, it's been a lot of Jey Uso.
Yeah.
And so to see him get his time in the sun, these segments are so much fun with him and Roman being so beside himself. I can't see, he doesn't like to eat stuff.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. And
I told you I don't like that.
I told you I don't like that. Sorry, Oos. It's been. I think that the bloodline stuff, to me anyways, is still a lot of fun to watch.
It is, and especially after Cody lost, the question was, well, how are they going to make this interesting for another year? And the answer has been, Roman's on TV less. Let's really flesh out the Usos and make them really distinct characters, and so much so that we're going to break up the team and put them opposite brands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Jimmy has really found who his character is. Mm-hmm. He's the wannabe tribal chief.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who doesn't understand what it really takes to be tribal chief.
Doesn't have the credentials, doesn't have the bona fides.
No, he's completely oblivious.
Yeah.
And you got Jay, who's on Raw, who has to deal with all the damage that he inflicted on the roster as member of Bloodline.
Right.
And try to find ways to make up for that, to regain the trust of the locker room.
Yeah.
And it's two really different paths for him and two really interesting stories for him. And it's been enjoyable so far.
Yeah, it really has been. I was trying to see if there was anything else.
Otherwise, John Cena talked like 5 minutes saying, I don't know if I have it anymore, but we're going to find out. And then Heyman comes out and says, you may not have it in the ring, but the one thing you have is your ability to talk, but Solo's going to take that away from you. He spikes you.
Yeah,
I was the whole segment.
I was kind of a fan of that spike because I'm kind of tired of John Cena talking. Apparently, there's been some positive movement on the actor strike thing, so I imagine November 4th might be the last time we see John Cena for a little while anyways. Mm-hmm. That's my suspicion. Because I do firmly believe, especially with them ramping up a lot of stuff on, in the DCU, and I think James Gunn has said Cena's going to be back as Peacemaker.
Mm-hmm. Sounds familiar.
He's got so many projects. Rock's got so many projects. It's going to be a long time, I think, before we see them. Yeah. Maybe we'll see him at WrestleMania, but I even kind of doubt that. I think that because the actors have been off for so long and the writers had been off for so long, they're going to be having to work overtime to try to, keep the content coming.
Yep.
I would imagine Solo Sikoa, because they're probably going to do Solo versus John Cena. That's what we're thinking for.
Yeah, that's official. That Crown.
That's official now. Okay.
Yeah, it's official.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like that match, he's got to put Solo over, and he hasn't had was it folly to sort of bring up? I haven't had a singles win since 2018. Does that make Solo's win, because that's going to happen at Crown Jewel, less impactful now that that's all in our minds?
Well, this is the way Cena's really setting this up. This is essentially not a retirement match, but effectively his last stand.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, if I don't win this, then yeah, I'm on my way out. You know, he hasn't said it in so many words, this is my last match, and I don't think it is per se, but this is for him, his test to see whether he can still handle wrestling on today's roster. And if he loses, then it's like, all right, well, maybe I'll ride off into the sunset soon enough. But you know, if it's a situation where the strike was going to last for another few months and Cena was going to have the opportunity to stick around, I wouldn't be surprised if he won against Solo. Only, you know, at some point for Solo to get the win back, maybe to actually retire John Cena. So I don't know. I don't know.
No, I kind of feel you on that. I kind of feel like he would have gotten a win and then Solo would have gotten a win back or something. Yeah. But strike coming to an end probably pretty soon. Yeah,
so they might just kind of fast forward to Solo winning. Who knows?
Also, made official Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. That's happening at Crown Jewel too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that one. She wants to go through. She didn't mention Dakota Kai because I don't know if Dakota Kai.
I don't think she's cleared yet.
Yeah, I don't think she is. But she said she wants to take out all of Damage Control.
Well, we've seen her do that before, so.
Yeah, this wouldn't be the first time. Like, you know, I'm pretty sure she actually like KOD'd two people at the same time.
She did.
Yeah, I didn't dream that one. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it, and we'll talk about the stuff as we get there. So let's start off, as we said, Roman Reigns making his entrance, but halfway down the ramp, LA Knight, big pop from the crowd. He just walks on past him like he doesn't even notice him. Again, oblivious LA Knight is probably prime.
It's the best LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
So he gets in there, sits at the head of the table. Heyman tries to rearrange the table. He tries to like angle the table so that Roman can be at the head and LA Knight. So they have a little tug of war over the table. And LA Knight's like, nah, not doing this. Anyways, he says, you're going to take all night? I ain't got the time. It's time to sign this deal and sign that title away. Yeah. So Nick Aldis introduces the contract signing. Roman takes a seat, gets the mic from Heyman. Knight interrupts Aldis, says, we all know what we're doing. We all know why we're here. Let me talk at you, or let me talk to you. He says, what we're doing right now, we're looking at a contract. In this very contract, it reads that Roman Reigns is going to hand the WWE Championship to LA Knight. Yeah. Side note, I love that oblivious LA Knight doesn't even refer to it as the Undisputed Universal title. He just calls it the WWE Championship.
Great.
He says, so why don't I go ahead and sign that right now? He signs the contract, pushes it in front of Roman and says, there you go, big boy. Have at it, Chief.
So I love that Roman takes the pen from that Knight used and throws it out.
Yeah.
And it goes into his jacket and hands Roman a new one. Roman says,
right.
Hey,
it was because it was like a Bic pen, probably.
Yeah. He goes, hey, idiot. And I'm not talking to you, Milwaukee. I'm talking to you. This is crazy. You must be stupid. You're just going to sign away? Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a contract signing? I got one more question. Have you ever had a championship match before? I don't think so. So that means you got no clue what you're doing right now. But don't worry. You know, I'm the tribal chief. I'm going to go easy on you. We're going to make it real nice your first time. All right, sweetheart. So he tries to sign. I don't know if this is intended or not, but the pen doesn't work. So he hands it to Heyman. Heyman chucks that one, hands Roman a new one, so Roman signs the contract as the crowd's chanting, Roman's scared. So then Aldis tries to conclude the contract signing, says, hey, good luck, gentlemen. Roman's about to get up. Then what does LA Knight say, Steve?
Hey, Roman, from where I'm looking, I'm the head of the table, so acknowledge me. You want to talk about my first contract signing? You want to talk about my first title match? And you're right. Isn't that crazy? You also said you're going to go gentle on me. Oh, my God, that's sweet of you, and I hope you do. Because right now, if you think you're going to underestimate this man because of my first time around, my friend, you are already beat. I'm going to put it to you like this. Is this my first time? Hell yeah, it is. So I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, after only a single year, I'm sitting at the head of this table about to take your title. And I climb so fast, you don't even know what hit you. By the time we get to Crown Jewel, you're going to be thinking to yourself, what the hell just happened? He just walked out with my WWE Championship. But see, you don't understand. Yeah, this is my first time, but I only need one time. Because while you're out here telling while you failed over and over again, while you were busy doing suffering succotash, I've been out here telling everybody whose game this is. Not yet. And the crowd obliges. They don't say it yet. Because there can only be one WWE champion. Yeah. There can only be one me. Yeah. And guess what? It's coming up real soon, and there's nothing you could do about it. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. I can't stop this gravy train. I can't stop this undeniable Kavorka, and I can't stop being the man they call the megastar with everybody saying, LA Knight, yeah.
So
it was a very old school LA Knight promo.
It really was. It really was. Yeah, it was. He brought back the Kavorka.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't call him dummy, though.
No, he didn't.
Didn't call him dummy. Anyway, so Roman flips the table over. On to LA Knight, starts hammering him with punches and stomps, throws him in the corner, gets the table from under the ring and sets it up in the ring. So LA Knight gets to his feet. Roman looks to hit him. Knight turns the table, starts stomping on Roman in the corner. So Jimmy runs down, starts stomping on Knight, and that allows Roman to retreat. So Jimmy turns to Roman and goes, Are you all right? And Heyman's like, just worry about, get LA Knight, get him.
Mm-hmm.
So he turns around, looks for a super kick. LA Knight evades it, picks him up, puts Jimmy through the table with a belly-to-back suplex.
Yeah, Roman looks thoroughly disappointed. That's just a fact of life. They got to make that T-shirt, man. Come on, make that. That's not an insult. It's just a fact of life.
They definitely do. After that, we had Santos, Escobar, and Carlito teaming up against Street Profits.
I thought Carlito wearing his merch shirt throughout most of this match was indicative of him being sort of checked out already, but he took it off so people can see the beef, and he threw it at somebody. But yeah, I don't know. LWO right now, they're a bit on the cold side. Carlito was not really like a big shot in the arm for the LWO, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. And I don't disagree with you. It feels like Logan Paul's probably going to win that U.S. title, especially after he had that face-off with Kevin Owens backstage.
I think you're probably right about that, but like even when you think about like the LWO and Rey Mysterio, like Rey seems like he's sort of on his own island. Like he shows up with the LWO, but like he also, I get the feeling he kind of doesn't want the LWO stink on him too, you know?
So what it is that he relies on the LWO when it's convenient for him to do so.
Oh, yeah.
But when it's not, he's like, no, I got to handle this business myself.
Yeah. He's like,
that seems like the deal.
They're like, hey, Ray, how can we get that Louis Vuitton shirt that you're wearing right now? He's like, that's the Rey Mysterio setup.
Yeah.
It's not the Joaquin Wild setup, believe me.
You want all the you want these off-white Air Force Ones I got?
Right. No.
No,
I know a guy who can
Mysterio
sell you
setup.
some knockoffs, but I can't be on TV with you while you're wearing them.
Yeah. You want some Jordans, but the Jumpman logo looks a little different. I can help you with that. But I can't be in the same segment if you're wearing those, and I got some actual Jordans on.
Right. I got the Jumpmans. You got the Jump Dudes. Yeah.
Yes.
Not gonna work.
Anyways, Street Profits win this match.
Yeah.
Santos eats the finish, takes the Profits finisher. Street Profits get the win. Street Profits got a new theme song finally, which is good.
Oh shit!
You
Again, sort of half pay attention during entrances. They did. They got was it sort of
theme.
like Lashley's, a little bit like Lashley's.
So it's hard to tell because they had the timpani drums playing for Lashley's entrance, and he came out I believe first, and then they had the Street Profits come with their new. The Tron's the same, but the song's new.
Okay, so I kind of heard I think I heard like the Lashley trumpets, and then I started fast forwarding during the entrance. That's what happened. Okay, because I was trying to speed her. Man, I had like a hangover day on Sunday yesterday, and then like at 4:00 when I sort of woke up and was like I should probably be productive today a little bit. I realized there was still 4 hours of wrestling I had to watch because I had not watched Smackdown or Collision.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I watched like the first 40 minutes of Smackdown Friday night, and then the rest of it. Well, a couple more hours of it yesterday, and then the last 40 minutes of Collision this morning.
Yeah.
It's a lot to get. You want to do stuff. You want to enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, right.
You got to find time for 4 hours of wrestling. That's why they need to move all the wrestling shows to the weekday.
Yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree with that. I mean, I do. Obviously, like I fast forward as much as I can. So I cut all the commercials out. I mean, that's the cool thing about Xfinity here. I can just like scrub through, all the commercials and
Exactly. Yeah, I don't watch any of the commercials either.
So
then we're backstage in the Bloodline locker room. Heyman has one of those Packers legacy titles, and Roman's like, "What is that?
What is that?"
And Heyman says, "This is a custom title made for the Green Bay Packers." Oh, they're in Milwaukee. That's why.
Yeah.
And Roman's like, "Why do you have it?"
Why do you have it?
Goes, "Because I'm gonna give it this to LA Knight because it's the closest LA Knight's gonna. Yeah, or the Packers are gonna get becoming champions." So Roman laughs, "Ha ha." Jimmy enters and flops down on the couch next to Roman. Just instantly making himself at home. And Roman says,
Roman's instantly annoyed, too.
Yeah. And Roman's like, where the hell have you been? And Jimmy says, trainer's room, getting looked at. And Roman says, what's happened out there? What happened out there? And Jimmy's like, what do you mean? I ran the play. I tried to run it. And Roman goes, you ran the wrong play.
Wrong play.
Jimmy goes, audible, hot route, right? And Roman says, if we don't control this fool, it's done. You got to handle him tonight. Tonight. And Jimmy's like, that's when he says, I'm on the injured list. I can't do nothing. And Roman says, you what?
What?
Jimmy goes, I'm off the injured list. I could do something. Roman says, good. Wise man, make the match. And Heyman says, I'll tell all this right now. And Jimmy says, yeet. Roman goes, I thought I told you. I don't like that.
I don't like that. It was so funny. It was such a good segment. Their chemistry is just amazing.
It really is. It really is. So
after that, we had a Logan Paul interview backstage. Kathy's like, why did you sucker punch Ray? And Logan's like, they say never let them know your next move. He says, look, my fist is as big as Ray's head. I think this is why there are weight classes in boxing. This was kind of funny, actually. At one point, he took her mic and said, got your mic. Here, have it back.
Yeah, it's my mic now. Here, have it back. Yeah.
And so he's like, got any more questions? And she's about to ask another. He just walks off. But he stops and he sees Kevin Owens in a Rey Mysterio shirt. He says, that's a whack shirt. So Logan walks off. This next bit was like my favorite moment. Well, one of my favorite moments of SmackDown. There's lots of little moments that were just hilarious.
Yeah.
So Theory and Waller walk up to Kevin Owens. And they start giving him shit about, oh, so what? What is this? We got a punchable face? What's that all about? And Kevin Owens like, yeah, that's the two of you. I'd love to punch you in the face. I bet I could punch both of you in the face at the same time at once. One fist, one punch, both faces, guaranteed. And Waller in Theory would be like, there's no way you could do that. You can't do this. I totally could. I could do it. If you guys lined up properly, I could totally do that. So then Jason Jordan and JB Noble step in and they break things up. Of course, Kevin Owens and Jamie Noble go back as Ring of Honor. And he's like, Jamie, don't you think I could punch both at the same time at once? And he's like, yeah, you could do that. But he's escorting Kevin Owens out. They're trying to avoid violence. And then Theory and Waller, the camera moves just to them. And he's like, what does he think? We're standing here like shoulder to shoulder? You could just punch. And so, they stand shoulder to shoulder trying to figure out the physics of it or the geography of it. Kevin Owens steps in, knocks them both on their asses with one punch. I told you, Jamie, I did it. I told you I could do it.
Oh, so good.
And the great thing about it, too, is that because I think it's a pre-tape, not live, because it looked so good, him doing the double punch, and they made a very subtle double sound on the punches to make it even more realistic. And it was really well done.
It was.
And hilarious. I don't know who, it sounds like something Kevin Owens would have come up with. It was hilarious and so well done. And giving the producers the freedom to actually have some personality, like Jamie Noble saying, yeah, you could do that, was awesome.
It was. I wonder what they're going to do. And I think Sammy and Jay had some bit at a house show. They're going to have Sammy and Jay start tagging, and they're going to have Kevin Owens put him in a position where he has to find another partner to take on Waller in Theory. So they each have to find essentially replacements for each other on opposite brand.
Yeah.
I don't know who Kevin Owens would tag with.
Yeah, I know. I wonder who that would be on SmackDown.
Think about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Next up, we had Dragon Lee interview. So Kayla asks him, hey, what inspires you? And he says, I'm very happy to be here on SmackDown. Before he can say anything else, Cedric interrupts. Says, I don't think we've been properly introduced. I'm Cedric Alexander. I got to say, standing here right now, it's like looking at a mirror. Remind me of myself back when I first stepped foot in WWE and earned the respect of the fans, the locker rooms, and Triple H himself, to a chorus of the entire WWE Universe chanting, please sign Cedric. That was such a great moment.
It was, yeah.
Match. He says, seeing you right now lights that competitive fire under me, and I would love nothing more than a match with you tonight. So Cedric offers his hand. Lee shakes it, said, it'd be my pleasure to take you to your limit and beyond. And Cedric says, good. So that match happens later.
Eric Clark here in our YouTube chat has it. AJ Styles.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That'd be something else.
That'd be great. Everybody else I feel like would annoy Kevin Owens. Like Cameron Grimes,
Yeah.
Dragon Lee is just not, the personality's not there yet. Like, I can't think of anybody else that could work, but AJ would be great. That'd be awesome.
Cool.
That'd be awesome.
That would be cool. Let's see if we go to the SmackDown roster here. There's AJ.
Remember that weird series of matches they had?
Yeah, they
like
should
none
be really
of them
good.
were very
Kind of
good.
mid.
Yeah,
What if John Cena sticks around? He tags with Kevin Owens.
That would be awesome. That would be great.
Yeah.
AJ would kind of be perfect.
Yeah, AJ would probably work pretty well.
Yeah. After that, we had Shotzi versus Chelsea Green. So earlier in the day, Shotzi is thanking Aldis for allowing her to host Halloween Havoc. Chelsea and Piper step in, and Chelsea's like, they let Shotzi host Halloween Havoc rather than us. Shotzi challenges Chelsea to a match. Aldis like, that's a great idea. We're going retro. And then makes the match. And then Shotzi gets sort of a sneak win here. She's looking for a superplex. Chelsea headbutts her, dumps her face first onto the mat, follows with a missile drop kick, covers, but then Shotzi reverses that into a crucifix pin to get the win. So, good job, Shotzi.
Yep. Then we had this really long John Cena promo, like I said earlier. It's pretty much him talking about he's been wrestling for 20 years. He has this connection with the fans, but at this point, if he can't win, he loses this, and therefore he can't wrestle anymore. That was pretty much his thesis. And he says the WWE use the words must-see all the time, but Crown Jewel isn't just a must-see for me, it's a must-win. He says, I know that your respect is earned, and I also know it takes guts to stand this ring and promise a victory, but the time has come to dig deep, and the time is now to deliver. So just short of guaranteeing victory. Anyways, Paul Heyman comes to the ring. And he says, I'm not out here to represent Roman Reigns. I'm out here out of respect. And he talks about a story where he was in the boardroom with Vince, and Vince asked him, first round pick from OVW, who is it? And Heyman says, for me, it was John Cena. Mm-hmm. So he says, respect's gone back for 20 years. You're a real life superhero, John Cena. He says, I've raised my kids to be more like you than I want them to be like me. He says, at SummerSlam against Roman, with all due respect, Roman proved that you're not the greatest of all time in the ring anymore. But that's not a bad thing, because as long as you can take a microphone and bring it up to your mouth, John Cena, and this is coming from me, you are the greatest of all time when it comes to communication in WWE. He says, they boo me out of the building, but you, they'll laugh with you, cry for you, cheer for you. You have a bond with them that I can never, ever have because you talk like no one on the planet can. The future you could have had on this planet just talking. He says, I've been doing this for 100 years, and I'm still on top. And John, you could have been me until you pissed off the bloodline. Now the order has come down from the top, from Roman, that it's not enough to spear you. You'll get broken ribs and you'll come back, and you'll come back and be fine. It's not enough for Jimmy to hit you with a splash and crack your sternum. You've cracked your sternum before. You'll come back from that. But Solo hits you with the spike, and then you can't talk anymore, John. The greatest weapon you have will be taken away from you. What makes you so dangerous taken away from you. John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. Solo takes that away from you, and the bloodline takes you away from the WWE Universe. You say, I must win, and John Cena, in the last match in your career that you must win, you can't win. John Cena, that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler. And Solo runs the attack. So it runs the ring, attacks Cena from behind, hits him with an Uranagi, and then the spike. So no more promos from Cena between now and Crown Royal.
Not upset about that.
Mm-mm.
Not upset about that.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
He should come out. Maybe he'll come out on the SmackDown, the Go Home SmackDown this week with like one of those speak and read, speak and spell, whatever it is.
You should do the Sammy Guevara, Bob Dylan gimmick with the signs.
There you go, just the signs. But it's like he's got like 500 signs or 500 stat.
Exactly, and it's all like thick. Like 14 size font. It's just really dense stuff.
It's 14.
It's like his version of James Joyce's Ulysses. He just put out
there. Like, hello everybody. My name is John Cena.
But it takes forever. He's got to actually he's got to spell everything out in the speak and spell.
And I can't talk right now because of Holo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa. Sorry. back. Solo Sikoa. Oh, man. Yeah, Curious Quarter, the Stephen Hawking thing. I didn't realize this, but it takes because his thing was all breath activated, it took forever for him. Like whenever you see him on TV and he's like talking, that actually takes forever for him to put together. Yeah, you'll be sitting there for like 5 minutes because unfortunately he was so weak at the time, And it took like 5 minutes to put together like a single sentence. But then when it shows it on TV, it's all just cut together.
Yeah, it's all put together.
Yeah.
Lord Blake here says Cena literally debuted last of the 4 OVW talents. It's the last debut amongst Brock, Orton, and Batista.
Brock, Orton, and Batista. Yeah, I don't know what the order was.
Timeline was on that.
Yeah. I remember Randy Orton's early cheesy promos.
Yeah.
Give me a shot.
Randy News Network. That was when he was hurt. They did the Randy News Network.
Yeah. I think I remember watching live when we got the very first Randy Orton promo, and it's all awkward and shit. Yeah. He had like long hair or longer hair. It was like a longer shag hair. Cut. Yeah.
And then Batista was with Devon Dudley to start.
He was the Deacon Batista. Yeah. They should have brought him up as Leviathan, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The vampire, he was great.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. After that, we got an LA Knight promo. Yeah. Steve, you want to handle this one?
Yeah. Paul Heyman talks about worrying about people pissing off the bloodline. The bloodline needs to worry about who they're pissing off. I haven't forgotten about Roman spearing me a couple weeks ago, but Jimmy Uso wants to come down thinking he's got enough tingle in his loins to come on in and tangle with the man they call the megastar. Nah, he's got thrown through a table for his troubles. You want to come on down and do it again, Jimmy? I'll tell you what. Later tonight, I'll grab those 2 little pigtails, ride your ass around all that ring, and tell your chief whose game this is, with everybody saying, LA Knight, yeah.
Yeah. Then we got Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander. This is really good stuff. They should have given him 20 minutes. It'd been awesome. Sadly, we didn't even get to see a lumbar check. Still one of the best finishers there is in wrestling.
Especially depending on who's selling it. Dragon Lee could probably go high with that.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. But we did get to see a Destino for Dragon Lee to get that win. I like he's using really Destino. That's great.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
He gets the win here. After Cedric looking for a second Michinoku driver, Lee reverses that into a roll-up. Cedric kicks out into a roll-up of his own. Lee rolls out of that, or kicks out of that, hits a running knee, and then a Destino to get the win.
Yep. After that, we had a Bianca Belair promo. Basically says we got. Let's see. So this is talks about like getting beat up by Damage Control, taking her out for 2 months. She wants to get revenge. She says, for the first time in my life, I was consumed with vengeance. It was vengeance that got me up every morning out of bed. It was vengeance that had me training like a beast so I can get back here to Smackdown. It was vengeance that helped me come up with a plan that I took to Nick Aldis. The plan is just getting a match for the Women's Championship. She says, but then next week, I'll be facing the mastermind herself, Bayley. She says, my vengeance is not complete until I take out every member of Damage Control. Starting with Io Sky and finishing with Bayley. Reclaim my women's titles. Didn't mention Dakota Kai because she can't take her out because she's not cleared.
She's cleared to wrestle yet. No.
Yeah.
Then we got our main event. Jim Uso taking on LA Knight. Yeah. Not surprisingly here, LA Knight gets the win. Hits a superplex, follows with the BFT to get the W, and he's posing after his victory, and Roman tries to sneak in to attack him while LA Knight evades. Roman just runs to the turnbuckle. Roman throws a really sloppy looking clothesline. Knight ducks that BFT.
Mm-hmm. That's as close as he's gonna get. I mean, yes, there's I think they do like a promo segment on Friday that they pre-taped all that stuff.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, Roman compares him to The Rock. He says, you're like a crap version of my cousin or something like that, like a Wish.com version of my cousin. Oof. LA Knight's career is going to be over in one sentence.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Roman's so
it's nothing Kevin Nash hasn't already said, so.
It's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing about Roman, though, is that he sells every one of his opponents. Mm-hmm. And, like, not enough people do that. People just need to sell their opponents so much. Like, you see the Edge stuff that's the thing that stood out to me that just lasts in my memory is Edge saying Ricky Starks is like a vanilla midget version of The Rock. I'm like, you got to sell your opponent. You got to sell who you're in there with.
I know.
Like, dude, you've been doing this for almost 30 years. You should know this.
I know. There's if you're going to insult your opponent, you got to say, well, you've done this. You got to put them over a bit first, and then you undercut it to a degree, but with the insult.
Yeah.
But you got to build them up first to some degree. I know. I agree.
Man, so I got some, before we answer some questions, I got some good news. I got some bad news. Which would you like first?
Give me the bad news first.
All right. The bad news is we've got 593 people watching right now, which awesome. You would think, and on top of that, 1,800 views. So like 1,800 people have come in, they've left or whatever. The bad news is, I'm sorry, but bad news is we've got 605 people watching now. It keeps on changing. Out of those 605 people watching right now, we only have 241 likes. That's the good news. We're over 200 likes.
Love that.
But here's the thing. 605 people watching, only 242 likes.
Why can't everybody like?
What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you?
Why can't everybody like?
I'm talking to you. Not the ones who have already hit like. You guys, that's like normal. It's like normal. No, not you. Have you hit like?
Yeah.
Oh, hell. Oh, my God.
Is that a conflict of interest for me to like my own video?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't hit like either, but I should go do that. Let me sign in.
But if we both hit like at the same time, it's not going to count. You'll like it, I'll unlike it.
No, I'm going to do it for my WrestleJuice account. You get on your WrestleFarts account.
It doesn't exist. Can I like my own video as Steven Larson? I can.
You can. So go ahead and do that.
I did do it.
You could like it from Friendo Club Wrestling.
Oh, I could do that. I'll do that later.
Okay, do that later. Here, I'll do it from my burner account. I'll do it
here. We're up to 270 now. Thank you.
Uh-oh, here we go. Wait.
How about this? By the time we get through questions, could we at least get to 300? That would be great.
We're at 270 now, thanks to my burner account.
Thanks to you berating everybody.
Let me switch account here to the WrestleJuice.
You can go to all your accounts. You can get us up to 300 by yourself.
272. Right.
276 now.
Yeah, but come on, humble 85.
300. Just at least 300.
Just hit the likes. Just hit the likes.
Please.
Goodness gracious, what's wrong? Look at my dog. Look at my dog back there.
We can keep an eye on it.
You guys like dogs? There's a dog back there. There's a dog back there. What are you doing? She's still recovering from surgery.
No, how's that going?
Oh, she's fine. Like she's actually, my dog's weird, but like one thing that she takes really well is like surgery. Like she's had a couple of eye surgeries. She's fine.
Yeah.
Unfazed, she gets the surgery. She's fine.
Unfazed. Andrew Samps here asked, who are two wrestlers that wrestled the same company at the same time but never had a feud with each other that you wish would have?
Eddie and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
That's sort of, I think, classically one of the top answers for that type of question. So
yeah. Sid and Stone Cold.
Oh, that's good.
I know they're involved in matches, but I don't think they ever had a feud.
Stone Cold and Hogan. Like, I know Hogan got hit with a stunner once, but that was it.
Yeah. I mean, Nikal asked on the subject of dentistry, which wrestler would you choose to clean your teeth and who to repair your teeth? I mean, Britt Baker's the obvious answer.
Right.
She's a dentist.
Yeah. Less terrifying than Isaac Yankem. She's an actual dentist, yeah.
Yeah, Isaac Yankem, kayfabe dentist, and a kayfabe, a terrible dentist.
Yeah, right. He had terrible teeth too. Let's see here. White Brownie says, would you guys like to see another Evolution pay-per-view come back?
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
That show was great.
What a silly question.
Main event was fantastic. Blake here asked, do you think a Road to WrestleMania type season is something AEW can do, or is that just something only WWE can do because of their history? I think the idea that you're building up to a huge show that's kind of, to a certain degree, the season finale, I think would be wise. Just an idea that you're building to something monumental happening would generate some measure of excitement.
I like the idea of AEW doing a Road to WrestleMania.
Exactly, verbatim, yes. They had the sign out there and people are pointing at it.
Pontus here in YouTube chat says, why so early today? My kid has a dentist appointment. Not going to Britt Baker. We're not in Florida. Not going to Isaac Yankem. That's a fake one.
Yes.
I love this comment here. It's not even a question. DKC Return says, I can't get enough of Steven Larson's Going in Raw, WWE, and AEW podcast.
Thank you for utilizing the full name of the show. It's much appreciated. Andre Zimpel says, of all the people who challenge Roman for the title, power rank the top 5 who would have shocked you if they beat Roman for it.
Would have shocked me. Sami Zayn would have shocked me.
Rey Mysterio when they had their match, not on the pay-per-view, but on SmackDown.
Yeah, you kind of got to go early into like the. Did Roman and Fiend ever have like a? Oh, Finn Balor, the Demon Finn Balor.
Finn, where the turnbuckle collapsed for no reason.
Yeah, that would have shocked me. Yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of the major ones that I could think of.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio when they did it on the pre-show, or it was like the Smackdown. What was it?
It was a Smackdown before the pay-per-view. I think it was Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
and they had their title match on the Smackdown before for some reason.
Logan Paul would have shocked me.
Yeah,
there's some good
surprising.
answers here. Matt Riddle definitely would have shocked me.
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a great question. Broceratops says, "What does a perfect Sunday look like for you?" So I had a hangover Sunday yesterday.
So not exactly ideal for you.
I woke up with a headache, but then like I stayed in bed like all day. Had a fat breakfast burrito from my favorite place. So like there's good and bad to it.
A perfect Sunday. If I had a Sunday where I could get up and get a little bit of a pump on,
yeah,
because that kind of makes me feel better throughout the day. If I don't get some exercise, I just feel bleh.
Yeah.
Do something good with the family, something fun, but also give me like 3 to 4 hours to sit in like on a Sunday and on the fall. Let me watch some football. Give me
right.
Eagles games on. Let me watch the Eagles game at least.
Yeah.
I'll grill some stuff on the barbecue. Have that for dinner. Just mellow.
Just chill.
Yeah,
chill is nice. Chill is nice. Dave Matuszek says, considering that Hammerstone opted out of his MLW contract, which company do you think he should go to next? Impact Wrestling. TNA. Yeah. They need some young single star. I don't know how young it is, but they need some single stars, some men single stars.
Yeah.
They need to beef up their just dude division.
Yeah, I know. They do. Yeah, and really try to develop more main eventers, yeah. Edward here asked, besides Luke from Wrestle Talk, who are some other wrestling content creators you guys would try to convince to jump ship?
Oh, dude, who wouldn't we want to jump ship?
Edward mentioned Simon Miller.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Are you
Yeah,
kidding
absolutely.
me? Jesus Christ, that dude's
Awesome
got like
dude.
the following of a lifetime. Yeah, no, he's terrific. Macho T, bring him over.
Pacitti.
X3, bring him over.
Yeah.
Pacitti, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, obviously, Alex. We're going to be tomorrow. We got that roundtable thing with Alex for the Church of Friendo. Do you think, because it's on Fightful, right? Was it Shaq? That's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. You think he knows that he's bringing the entire, without Kayla, the Church of Friendos?
Three quarters.
Think he's aware of that? Does he know the history of the Church of Friendos? We're going to ask him.
I will find out.
I'm wearing my Church of Friendos shirt.
Yeah, I should too. It's right here.
Yeah, man. It's just off camera there.
Yeah, my dresser's literally off camera right here.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's right here.
I don't know the layout of your bedroom. I've been there like once.
You've been in my bedroom before?
Like once, yeah. I snuck in there. I snuck in there and dropped a crap in your bedroom.
You're stuck in here and peeing in one of the corners. You got a pee corner in my house. How dare you?
I use your personal bathroom there.
Oh, my goodness. Timor here says, what would the other person have to do in order for you to flip a table on them the long way?
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm surprised I didn't do it that time you farted. Those times you farted near my
one of them was at a dining room table.
Yeah, I could have flipped it, but I didn't. I'm not like that. You know. I don't know. Like, I'd probably flip a table on you if you're like, hey, I stole all of our revenue for this month.
Yeah, that'd be pretty. Yeah, that'd be.
I mean, that'd be at the very least, but I feel like, I don't know. That's worth just a really awkward conversation more than anything.
That's worth throwing hands, Steve.
I mean, you'd think so, but like, that's not going to get my money back. I'll be like, okay, I want my money. Stop doing that. Yeah. Sorry, I already spent it on gambling.
This is a good question from B-Man. If you walked down the street and did a random survey asking people who the most famous wrestler is, who do you think would be the most common answer?
Three names come to mind. Three names come to mind. Hogan, Austin, Rock.
Yeah,
that's what comes to mind.
You'd probably toss Cena in there.
Maybe. A lot of it depends on age.
Exactly.
Like, who's walking around on the street? Like, what's the demographic of people walking out? What's the demographic of streetwalkers?
If you did a large sampling of a variety of
streetwalkers?
Sure.
Yeah, like, what's a random sample? Like, who's man on the street these days? Are they like, 35 to 49? Is it elderly people?
Well, I guess it depends on a lot of things. Where you're walking, what part of town you're walking in. Is it near a college campus? Because you're going to have the survey is probably going to skew younger then.
Sure, of course, yeah.
You know, if you want to take a
Downtown.
wide sampling,
Downtown
might actually be a good place to get a fairly wide sampling because you probably have the professionals, you have younger people living downtown because it's the nightlife spot. So,
wow, what a great question. We should do some man on the street thing.
We should.
Let's go to downtown Sacramento.
Let's do a video. Who is the most famous wrestler?
Who do you think of when you think of pro wrestling?
Someone says, "Fuck it, Luthez, number one."
I'd be shocked. I think I think most people would probably say, whenever I bring up what I do to anybody, oh man, I used to love Stone Cold.
It's usually they know the Hogan era or they know something about the Attitude Era. That's generally what it is.
There is like one of the security guys that I'm friendly with at the bar that I go at Jan's, the bar that I go to. He's a younger dude. He was the John Cena, Randy Orton era. So he would talk about John Cena. Yeah,
younger fans or the people in the younger demographic might be more aware of Cena as opposed to Austin or Hogan.
Man on the street.
Now that Cena's in the movie.
Sounds so awkward. Sounds so awkward. Hey, where's my microphone? I don't have my microphone over here.
We have the means to do it. We should do it.
Oh yeah, we do. Hey, what's up? Man on the street interview. Who do you think of when you think of pro wrestling? And
that's a tripod, though. I'd be like, that's a small tripod. I can pick up any audio with that.
Well, I think I've got it. I don't know where it is.
Oh, look at that. We got 300 likes. Hooray.
Oh, God. It's about time. What is wrong with you people? My goodness. And how many people got? Like 600 still? Who's watching?
500. Well,
oh, no. A bunch of people tuned out because I yelled at them.
Yeah, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, to be honest.
Yeah, really. Especially when I do the child, my imitation of child.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm hungry. I need to eat lunch still, and you're going to make me lose my appetite if you do that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and review Raw. Lucky for you.
Preview Raw.
We've got, let's preview Raw. We've got a special guest in. It is Child.
Time to review Raw.
No,
preview Raw.
Here, I'll bring Triple H in. Let's see if I get his thing here. Hello, hi. This is the game, Triple H. Time to review Raw.
Sure. Preview Raw. Sure, let's do it.
You're gonna review the preview.
All right, I'll review your preview. What's the first item?
First up, J.D. McDonough to represent the Judgment Day against Seth freaking Rollins. So wait,
is he in Judgment Day confirmed?
Is he in Judgment Day or is he out of Judgment Day? I don't know if he's in Judgment Day or out of Judgment Day. I don't know. We're going to find out. I think he's like a prospect.
He is?
Yeah.
He's an applicant.
He's an applicant. The reviewing process is underway. Probationary period, you're a prospect, but if we find something on your application and or maybe in your social media use, might not look great for JD McDonough. Suck it.
I wouldn't think the prospects are great. So,
no, might not be his time. It's my time now.
Next,
Dirty Dom takes on Ricochet in non-title action.
That'd be a good match.
Dirty Dom's gonna win this match thanks to Judgment Day. Sorry, spoiler. I should have said spoiler alert. Next match.
Next.
DIY. #DIY. John Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are going to battle Imperium's Giovanni Vinci. Come on, throw up the Vittoria. Hey, there we go. And Ludwig Kaiser. Do you think I should have kept the Giovanni Vinci guy being a model guy?
Absolutely.
Guy? Yeah, I feel like he had an actual personality there.
I know now his personality takes losses.
Yes. Next, Natalya to square off against Chelsea Green in a trick or street fight. They already did this.
A trick or street fight. Cool.
They already did this on AEW. They sort of scooped us on the Collision.
They did.
The Pisshead Company scooped us.
Sorry, game.
Next up, Candice LeRae battles with Zaya. Oh, wow. This could be a good match.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll give it more than 3 minutes. Are you going to have
the cool effects back during your entrance? Because those are awesome.
Oh, yeah. We're doubling down more, but better.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just like nothing but lightning bolts and stuff.
Can't wait.
Cool shit. Laser beams. Pew, 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 pew,
yeah.
pew.
Yeah.
Just like that. Yeah. Anyways, I find it funny. DK here in YouTube chat says, did Steve say MJF and Jay White is a pay-per-view match, but MJF Kenny Omega isn't? It's only a pay-per-view match if it's in WWE. All these are pissant matches. I find it funny you would think that, though. Anyways.
I'm kind of surprised you're paying attention to our chat. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah. You guys are big business here at WWE.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Nick Khan knows about you and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking with you. I'm just razzing you. That's a rib. It's what they call a rib in the wrestling business. You guys are a pissant podcast. Game out.
Yeah, that's pretty much the truth.
He's gone. Did he call us a pissant podcast?
He did. How did you know?
I just had a feeling he was going to do that today. Yeah. So.
Oh, my stomach is grumbling.
All right, we better get out of here then. Anyways.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time. See you around.
Goodbye.